this is your reading. So you asked for a general reading, and this is order 4084. Whoop, it's upside down. So I am going to be pausing in between decks. I have my computer here. That's where I'm getting your energy from. Please let me know how this resonates with you as well, just to ensure that I got the correct energy. The other thing too is this is yours. This is yours to keep. You can rewatch it as many times as you want. You can share it if you wish. I would recommend to watch it by yourself first, just in case. And then if you wish to share it with others, then you're more than welcome to. It's yours. So as long as this video is around, you can watch it, okay? The other thing is that with my cards, this is like here and now energy. So if you rewatch it in like 6 months from now, then it may not resonate as well as right now. Future is not set in stone, so anything futuristic is ultimately up to you because it depends on how you go about your life, and this is your life. You can take the information, you can do with it whatever you wish, okay? I just like mentioning that to everyone as well. But let's see what comes out. Oh, that's interesting. I feel like you're fighting against yourself with something. All right, so your first 3 cards are very interesting because the first one that came out was masculine. So this is like representing like masculine energy. Everybody has masculine energy, everybody has feminine energy. So depending on how you view the situation depends on how much of whatever energy comes out. It's part of your personality as well. Now, the reason why I say that this is interesting is offer came out like this. So it's like it's in reverse, but it's like past, present, and future. And then feminine is on the other side. So the way I'm reading this, to me, you're struggling with balancing your energy. And it's been ongoing for quite a while, and I think that it might continue to ongo. And you're not really sure what direction to go in with something in your life. I think you know what I'm talking about, but you're stagnant, you're stuck, and you keep going back and forth because you're not balanced. And I think that it has something to do with spirituality. I could be wrong on that, but I think that, again, you're just having a hard time picking a direction and going with that direction. You're kind of all over the place. So deception and temptation came out next. So not the deception, it's more of a temptation. There's something else that you want to learn about. There's something else that you want to discover, but it's like a missing puzzle piece. You can't put it together for some reason. It's not clicking. It's part of a cycle. It's part of a change that you need to make within you. I think that what's happening is you're wanting to do things with gifts, okay? But I think that you're struggling with it because you're, how do I word this? Your subconscious is not on the same wavelength as your conscious. So you have to be both on the same page in order for you to get going with what you want to do. You are stopping yourself. So notice how the butterfly is over top of the mouth. So you want the change to come, but it's not happening because you are silencing yourself, okay? So you gotta somehow unstick this. And I think it's your limitations, and I think it's some fears that are happening. So you're worried about, I think it's subconscious. I think you're worried about doing all this opening and then something happening with it. So you're limiting yourself and you're fearful of this and you're fearful of opening too quickly. So I think that like we're kind of the here and now right now with the cards, because I think that once it kind of clicks in and kind of gets you unstuck, you are going to have a breakthrough and you're going to have that aha moment of, all right, I know how to protect myself. I know how to ground myself. I know how to cleanse myself. I know how to banish myself. So always banish, cleanse, and then protect. Okay, just heads up. So I think that once you know those things and you're comfortable with those things, not only for yourself, but also your home environment, then you are going to be more on par and on page, subconscious and conscious, and then you can start getting this cycle going, okay? And then when this happens, you're going to have that aha epiphany moment and you're going to actually start making progress the way you want to make progress. But you got to trust. You got to trust that it's going to come in its own time. And it's a big change for you. So again, cycles with the clock and then changes with the butterflies. And again, the third eye is lit too. So you need to be more in control, okay? You need to develop your tactics of how you go about doing your banishing, your cleansing, and your protection. You need to be 100% confident in doing those things for yourself and your environment in order for you to move forward, in order for you to push through this. And I think that you don't have full 100% control and are comfortable with everything just yet. So once you have that comfortability factor and you have it nailed down, then you're going to start really opening up, okay? Because contracts, careers, and commitments came out with third eye. So this is not like a willy-nilly kind of thing. This is something that you need to take very seriously because it's not all sunshine and rainbows, okay? I'm going to point that out right now. And I think you know this. So you need to be in control of everything that you're doing and you need to know what you're doing. If you're using divination tools, whether it's cards, whether it be a pendulum, whether it be dowsing rods, anything of that sort, you need to respect that divination tool and who you are working with. You need to set boundaries of who you work with. So if you work with a deity, if you work with your ancestors, if you work with your spirit team, you need to set those boundaries. And I think that you're struggling with setting those boundaries. I'm getting huge goosebumps. So once you have those boundaries in place so that nothing outside of what you want to influence your divination is set, and you have your protections up, and you have your wards up, and those sorts of things, and you're comfortable with all of that, then you can start being more comfortable with all of this, okay? So this contracts, careers, and commitments, it's like a binding thing. It's not one to make, like, it's not like just a casual thing. It's like a binding thing. It's like, definitely, like, I don't want to compare it to like a marriage contract or like a divorce or like buying a house or those sorts of long-term commitments. That's how this kind of feels like for me. Like it's not like just a willy-nilly kind of thing, okay? But I think that you are gonna have a renewal and a spark in the future for getting out this ball rolling and get it going and actually, like, again, be comfortable in what you're doing. Let me grab another deck, one sec. Okay, so for this one, the first card that came out was air sign. So for this one, I feel like you identify with air, the element, really well. But it's also about, I don't think you're an air sign. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. But it's also about, like, things are just kind of up in the air right now, and it's ultimately up to you on how to push through this. Because you love what you're doing. You love the aspect of everything, but you're just, again, it's just that little nudge that you need, and you need to be more confident because that wavering confidence is not helping you. Okay, so you need to, everything again is just kind of up in the air, and you need to get through this because there's a lot of tension going on. Whenever you attempt something spiritual wise, anything at all, whether that be learning something new, trying something new, like new spell work, new rituals, new whatever, you have a lot of tension going on with this, and you have a lot of anxiety about this too, because you're like, I don't know if this is right, I don't know what's happening. That's where the cross-referencing comes in. Okay, you're kind of all stuck in a haze, and it's very hard to clear that confusion. So you gotta clear that cloud of crap that's out there, because I think that you're watching a lot of social media and you're getting confused. So this is where books come into play, whether it's audiobooks or whether it's actual physical books. And also getting that cross-referencing stuff too, okay? So that you can clear that smog away, so that you can see clearly, because right now you're kind of stuck in a cloud, okay? You gotta find that divine counterpart to what speaks to you with your practice, okay? This is not an individual. This is about you knowing your direction and what you want to accomplish within your practice. Because I think that you're still trying to find where you kind of fit in as well, okay? Once you do, everything's gonna be working out pretty good, and you're gonna feel more confident, and you're gonna have that spark of like, oh, okay, but you gotta pick a path, okay? Whether that be like an eclectic witch, whether that be that path. An eclectic witch is where you take different pieces of different pathways and make it your own. That is a pathway, okay? So even if you label yourself as that, or whether you label yourself as Wiccan, pagan, whatever, it's ultimately up to you on what pathway you go, okay? But it's so close, but you're so far away. You gotta be sticking to it, because you gotta be independent. And I feel like sometimes you feel like you're very alone in this. I don't think that you have like a true like witchy community around you. You have a social one online, but you don't have one close by. So you got to be more self-reliant because of this, if you're going to be pursuing this, okay? The moon has a huge influence on you as well. So you are starting to, again, go by the phases of the moon, doing things by the phases of the moon. But again, your community you rely on a lot, and it's like the sun. So right now, you're getting kind of burned by the sun because you can't sift through all the hazy crap. You're staying out in the sun too long. So you gotta, again, kind of maybe step back or put some sunscreen on so that you can have that happiness, success, that security in your own practice, okay? And again, that community is good to lean on, but don't rely too heavily on it. Because again, there's some individuals out there that could be trying to do you harm. So that's why warding is very, very important as well. Because right now you're kind of stuck in a trance, okay? You are growing and evolving like mushrooms and like the butterflies, but at the same time, just don't get stuck there, because you're really stuck and you have a strong intuition. Start using that intuition and going with it, okay? The bottom of the deck is manifest. So you are going to be manifesting all this positivity. You have that creativity about you, and you can do this. It's just finding that light at the end of the tunnel and kind of going with it. Stick with one thing, okay? Because I think you kind of struggle with that as well, that you kind of jump all over the place. I'm like that too. But again, once you stick with something and learn about it really, really well, and then you can move on to the next thing. There will be time to continue learning and things like that as well, okay? So one sec, let me grab one more deck. As I'm shuffling, I just saw a novel in my head. I don't know if part of this is, again, I'm feeling more practice stuff, but I think part of this is that you're kind of blocked for writing wise too, because I think if memory serves me right, you're a writer as well. But I could be wrong on that. So let me finish shuffling this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so your first card was the Two of Cups, but it's in reverse. So when the Two of Cups is in reverse, it's like you have an emotional blockage, okay? And you're not being open to receiving possible love. There's disharmony. Those sorts of aspects come out when it's in reverse, okay? So this is like a disruption of something in your life that is carrying over. So you need to move past whatever is blocking you. The King of Cups is next. So the King of Cups is all about love, emotional intelligence, patience, experience, stability, those sorts of things. So he is trying to bring balance and creativity to you. All right. So this is also about possibly being someone that is supportive or being nurturing, but also being a very wise leader, knowing what direction you are going in. So you got to be like the flow of water. Okay. The Knight of Swords was next. So the Knight of Swords is about like haste, streamlined decision making. We are very fast. It's a very fast card, okay? And notice how fast the movement is in the card and the clouds, okay? So this is about also having that determination of like saving the day. So don't be rushing into things. I feel like you're trying to rush into stuff. And you gotta, again, have that discipline to kind of pull back when you need to pull back. And then this is also about like being assertive too, but also being successful. Then we have the Five of Pentacles. So pentacles are coins or disc or however you want to put them. They are in relation to money or finances. It can also be about health too. Okay, so this one here is the two individuals that is by the stained glass window that's outside in the cold. So this is could be about like, again, the finances or health difficulties might be happening or coming up possibly. You might be feeling like you're left out in the cold. It's one of those things that's like a little hard, but you're worrying and you feel like you might be ostracized by some individuals as well for how you view at things or how you do things. You could be also worried about your security too, whether that be finances or actual like physical security. So this is about a chance to clear those blockages, to get rid of them so that you can move past this. Okay, bottom of the deck is Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is about mastering your skill, okay? It's also about like being patient, having that determination, knowing your soul's purpose and where you're headed, okay? So with loving determination, like persevere and become the person that you long to become. And I think that it is going to happen because it's bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck is futuristic. So ultimately it's up to you and where you go with it. The Two of Swords was also on the bottom of the deck after the Eight of Pentacles. So after you have fully mastered what you're trying to do, whether that be in your craft or whether that be in your work, whatever it is for you that's resonating, then you might be coming at a little bit of a crossroads, okay? Because this card is about like a stalemate, crossroads, making that difficult choice. It's about that opposing energy that is crossing, okay? And you're kind of blinded by it. The moon is also in here too. So we have the illusions. There might be some shadows going on. So you got to sift through all that stuff, okay? So this is about choosing the best route of action for yourself through either your memory or your thought and your thinking pattern, okay? So when you're blinded by the unknown, trust yourself and trust that you are going to move towards where you need to go and move towards the light. So I hope this resonates with you and I hope this helps. Let me know how it goes. And yeah, that's, I'm not drawn to any other decks, but you can do this. It's just a matter of you got to get out of this stuck stuff. And again, kind of just research those other things that I had mentioned to kind of help you. But you got this. You can do this. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your energy. Take care.